Good morning, good morning. This is Meri at the Meri Atelier, and it is Tuesday morning, May 20th. Welcome to my desk. Let me put my phone up on my stand. It's always a little wobbly now until I get my phone. Someday that will change back again. I don't know when. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today, I want to catch up on some things. I want to paint an envelope for the giveaway that I had for Karen. I want to do some fussy cutting, and I'm going to do some other just general project catch up on things that I need to get finished. So let me get into my channel and set my notepad up so that I can let me switch over to my channel, and you and me, and there we are. I got the bunny rabbit out this morning. Penelope's still on vacation. We got one person watching. It's probably me. No, it's Arlene, and it's Jacqueline. Good morning, ladies. Hi, Becky. There's Becky. Hi, Becky. Becky, I saw where you got all the grouting done in your new bathroom. Pretty soon you're going to be in there, and that project is going to be over with. Aw. Let me set the quality up on my notepad here so that it looks decent to me. Advanced and 1080, and let's set up the chat so that I'm on all messages. There we go. Good morning. You're going to be lurking, Jacqueline? You got lots of work to do. Okay, Jacqueline. I have this all ready to go to Karen, but I decided I wanted to paint an envelope for her. So one of my favorite, I printed off some stickers. Let me get my phone. I printed off some stickers, and I really liked one of them. Let me go to my gallery, and I really liked this sticker. I think that's really a cool sticker. So I'm going to paint that on here. Now their background is kind of a cream. I guess I could do a buttermilk background. So I'm going to start off with that. I want to deconstruct this book, and I want to work on my putz house today. Since I found that leafy ribbon, I'm going to make a trellis using bobby pins and this. And I'm going to be gone today because it's going to be windy. And yeah, it's going to be windy, so I can't work in the garden. I'm not going to plant my flowers when it's so windy. So I'll come back to that paint. No, I'm going to do that painting right now. Oh dear. Ooh, that one's pretty too. But I want to do this one. This one won't take me long to do. So let me get some wax paper out. And we'll start out with the buttermilk background. I did finish the little journal that I used Jacqueline's seed kit for. And it's all done. It's all finished. I'm not going to open it right now. But it's got all Jacqueline's painty papers and everything. This was a little seed kit that I bought from Jacqueline. And I printed off some stickers for her in here that she can put in there. Some pretty stickers. She's going to have to figure out which side is up. I have to figure out which side is up on these. So, anyway, Let me get this in a safe spot. We'll keep the little rabbit out. Penelope went on vacation. She's debating whether she's going to come back. She will. I think she's over at Angie's. Hi, Dee Dee. There's Miss Dee Dee Willingham. Hi, Dee Dee. It's so good to see you. Today, Becky says, my baby sister Rhonda turned 45. Wasn't she just 2? I know, Becky. Time really goes, doesn't it? Yeah. Let's see. Did I miss Stephanie? Hi, Stephanie. Good morning, lady. Good morning, good morning. Stephanie, hello, everybody in chat. Stephanie says. What did Arlene say? Hey, Mary. Let's see, what did Arlene say? Arlene says, hi to everyone. What is, let's see, hi, Mary, hi, Mary. Hi, Arlene. Oh, she called Jacqueline the lovely lurker. Aww. Okay. So let me zoom out just a little because, oh, and I want to put this, I want to make another little dangle. This, I cut off a piece of this for the, I put it over here. I cut it off to put on the spine. That's my string of rings. Let me zoom out a little because you're seeing. Let me zoom out just a little and readjust this. How is that? Is that better? And I always have that glare. And I put on I'm trying to keep my desk cleaned off here. And I put my paper that I keep up here. You don't have too much of a glare, but you have a little. Here, let's put this on it. Turn it that way. Okay. This should not take me too long. Dee Dee, what have you been up to? Miss Dee Dee Willingham, what have you been doing? I missed your stream yesterday. I was up real late Sunday night trying to think why I missed Dee. I don't do Monday mornings very well. Oh, needless to say. All right, I'll get up the buttermilk paint. Buttermilk paint, where are you? I'm going back to town today to buy dirt. I want to finish filling my mineral pots. And I refuse to I refuse to get a brush out here. I refuse to plant my plants when we have high winds. So it's supposed to be halfway decent tomorrow. So I'll probably plant plants tomorrow. This is Deco Arts Buttermilk. It's one of my favorite things to do backgrounds with because it's not a real bright white. And I'm just going to do the back. And I'm going to kind of leave the edges. And, you know, I had that composition book out. Where did I put it? I never have the things that I want when I want them. Because I'm always rearranging and stacking up. And I've got 2 books that I'm using for wipe off. And do you think I can find either one of them? Do you think that I can find either one? No. I never have enough room in here. What did I do with that? Well, fiddlesticks. I don't don't want to get out another one. I'm going to have to keep those scrape off books in a separate. Let's just put it in here. Let's just scrape my paint off on here. I'm going to have to put them in a special spot. I haven't painted much lately, so yeah. All right. And let's give that a quick heat dry. If I put my hands on my heat gun, it's here. Becky said, oh, I read that one. Stephanie says, I know I answered her in Messenger. I was asleep and she was on. These storms were to the north and south of me. We didn't get anything serious that they were calling for. Well, that's good news, Stephanie. Dee Dee says, my daughters are in their 50s. Tell me about it, Becky. We're just going to do a quick paint job here. Probably harder for me to find my paints than to actually do the paint job. I'm going to start out doing the green leaf. Oh. And you know, green isn't something I have a lot of. I don't buy much green paint. Well, I do have some though. I got Sea Breeze and Blue Bonnet and I've got a spring green, but it's in gloss, but it's going to be on the envelope. I might keep my English navy out just for a little darkness. Here we go, a parakeet green. And a holly. And okay. And I'm just, for this, I'm not going to use that gloss. Put it back. For this, I'm just going to work out of the cap on the stems here. I was up at, gosh, I woke up at like 2 o'clock this morning, and I was online, and of course then I get tired around 5. All right, I'm just going to put a quick, and of course my phone went off. We're just going to do a quick leafy flower here. And I guess at the bottom it has another leaf coming out like this. Something like that. Now, let me get that's English navy. Let's do this one. Holly branch. And you can see I haven't opened these for a while. And I'll probably do a little pen work on this. just kind of do this freestyle here. And like I said, I probably will do a little pen work. So it won't be an entire, it won't be, it's more illustrative than anything. Yeah, let's stop there with this. And then I just want to do the flower is pinks and reds. Hold the phone till I get my lid put back on here. Green, green, green. I must have something in there. What's that? The blue. Yeah. Alright, reds. There's a red apple. And I don't have much pink either. Becky sent me some pink. I usually mix the white. I might mix some of this buttermilk with the red. And let's wash out my brush. Becky sent me some pink and purple a long time ago. Because I don't know what I was complaining about pink for, but I think I was at one time. This is just going to be a quickie thing here. Ew. I think I'm about done with that. Now, let me look at this a little. It's really, it's really kind of red with pinkish stripes, pinkish and white stripes. It's really an interesting. So I think I'll do some red. It's really a darker red. Let's mix a little of that blue. See if I can't get a purpley red. Of course, what I reached was empty. Well, we could mix some brown with it. Make a brownish red. That's too much, but yeah, I'll keep that out for now. And let's take a bit of this red and mix some brown with it and see what I get. Kind of a brownish red. And I'm just going to kind of, I think the tulip has a flower. I'm just going to kind of sketch it here first. It kind of comes up like that. And it's really kind of a wild thing here. Kind of comes around like so. Kind of comes up in there. Comes around like that and out. Now let's put some of this in here. Mine won't look exactly like theirs. but I'm kind of liking it. Now let's get a little more of this darker in here. And my lighting is bad, you guys, so forgive me for bad lighting. I think I do want a darker blue. That brown isn't doing it for me. That brown is not doing that for me. Of course, all I'm grabbing is brown now. I must be on the brown shelf. Let's turn it. Let's turn it. Here's an English navy. You know, you tend to want to dwell too much on things. I do. And if I just walk away for a bit, I'm finding I like it a lot better if I don't stress over things. Maybe a little bit darker. Reddish, darker red here. And here. Sometimes I try too hard. Let's go back to my red here. All right. It's really kind of a wild plant. I mean, a wild looking tulip. I think I'll stop there. I think that's probably, I might do some pen work, but I think with the paint, now I've got all sorts of paint and I can't find my composition book that I wipe things off in. Oh, that's horrible. What did I do with that wipe off journal? Oh, Meri. I get so disgusted with myself sometimes. I went to the thrift store the other day and I have all that out and I probably moved things around. Well, if I can't find it, I don't want to paint in that because I'll be throwing, that's my blue book, my blue background. I know I set it aside. It's probably in my box here that, let me grab something, and something I don't mind painting. I mind everything. That's the problem. What do I have here? Oh, what's this? Is that, I think that's one of Debbie Up's. No. That's my old gardening book. Oh, how to keep that out? We'll look at that. Here, I have some envelopes. We'll base coat some envelopes with this craft paint. Let me move this aside and let it kind of dry a little. And let's move the phone off of the... And I don't want to waste all that paint, so I'm just going to base coat some of these envelopes. So I started out with that bigger brush. So let's just base coat some of these. Where am I going to put them to dry? I don't know. Let me put a sack over the... Put them on the top of a sack so they won't get the... I just don't want to. I don't want to waste my paint. It's a shame to waste paint. Shame on you for wasting paint. Whoops, that got a little gray. I want to welcome everybody in. Thank you for popping in and saying good morning. I appreciate that. It's going to be windy here today. I'm going to go get dirt. I still need, I've been mixing what's left of my compost with topsoil. I'm not buying garden dirt. That's awfully expensive. But the topsoil is not too bad. And I want to finish filling my mineral tubs. I have 5 of them to finish. And tomorrow I have some more landscape fabric to, I'm trying to kill all the morning glories that are springing up around the tomatoes. They love to grab onto those tomato plants. So, I'm trying to put landscape fabric to, so that they won't grow. I love morning glories, but they can be pesty. They can be pests. I think I'm just about used all my paint here to my satisfaction. I might put a little white on this to, and I'm going to have to find that composition book. I have a feeling I put it in the, I have a box here that I put on the top shelf of my cart to keep things from falling off on the floor and falling out. But I tend to close the lid because the lid folds closed. And so I close it and lock it, and then I can't reach the things I put in there. No. All right, we're going to call that done. That's good. Put that brush in the water. Get rid of this. Yes, yes, yes. Put my paint away. Can I put it on the right shelf? That's the question. Let's see. Red. Red. Where's my reds? Well, here's the greens. I put the greens. I need the blues. There's the blues. And the browns. And the reds. A little white down in here. No, I usually put that buttermilk up on top, so I know where to reach it again. Alrighty. Now, what I want to do, let's look at this. Again, I want to do just a little bit of pen work on here. It's dry enough to kind of just do a little. A little pen work. We'll give it some. Let me make sure. A little spot in there. Oh, there's a little spot over there. I might go over that. Or I could just go. Now, I'm not looking at the flower. I'm just kind of outlining and probably shouldn't be dragging this through the let's see. I think I'll stop. Well, I look at it in the tablet here. I don't like this area. Let's give it a little shaping in there. Okay, I think I'll stop now. Let me go ahead and sign it. And today is May the 20th, 2025. And what I want to do, let me grab them here. Oops. There's an envelope. Where did I put them? Hold on, I gotta stand up. I moved things around here. I thought I put them over here. Well, I might have to wait till after the stream. I thought I put them over here. Did I knock them over? Well, I was going to show you the little seed book again, but I put it someplace and I can't find it, so I don't want to spend all morning looking for it. But you saw it when I first come on. Let me put this envelope in a safe spot. All right, let me move on. I'm not going to worry about it because I know it's here. I just need to put my hands on it. Let's go ahead and do this. I want to put a trellis on here. And this is my putz house. It's about done. I think what I want to do is trim this a little more. The thatch on an English cottage really isn't this thick. But I made it thick because what I was using was thick. Let's trim it off a little more. And I don't know if these scissors are going to cut it. Let's use these. It's like giving it a haircut. And it's too bushy up in here. And I'm just whacking at it. Giving it a haircut. And it's hard to trim, let me tell you. I don't think it needs trimmed on the sides much, but look how bushy that is. It's like a haystack on the roof. And theirs is nice and laid flat and everything, but I'm not gonna, I mean, on an English cottage, it's really, the roof lays nice and flat. Turn it back because this is entirely too thick. That might be okay. Let's. I'm trimming my putz house. A little too thick in there. Oh, I didn't cut the holder, did I? I might have cut the holder. Well, that's okay because I wanted to tat a holder and I can sew this on. So that's, I'll tat a holder for it. I haven't been working on putz houses lately, but I want to finish this one up now that I found that. I cut my holder. Oh, Mary. I do the craziest things sometimes. Don't cut it anymore. It's a little, I'm not sure I'm liking this right in here. Oh, I need to put a chimney on it too, but we're going to do the trellis. Look at all that I cut off. Like at the beauty shop. I need to get my hair trimmed. Now, I'm debating whether I want to do it for Memorial Day or just wear it pulled back. All right, I am going to take some bobby pins and build me a trellis with bobby pins. And I'm thinking 4 or 5 of them. And then I'm going to wind that ribbon through them. So something like this. The sides are uneven because of what I put on there to the stucco. Put it like that if I can. And then I was thinking maybe make an X in there like that, and then weave my leafy ribbon through it. We'll see how that goes. This keeps kind of pushing in. I might have to put a piece of cardboard in there to keep it out, but the little door opens and closes, and it's got the little, I don't know if you can see them, but it's got the little, I didn't put any crossbars on that window because it's mostly going to be covered up, but it's got the little crossbars, and this is the back of the house. This is the front. So what I'm going to do is use glossy accent, and I'll put on 2 and let it kind of dry, and then I'll put on the 2 more. Let me get my glossy accent. And of course, I sing that song that says, "Where did I put it? I used it the other day." Is this some? That's Mod Podge. Here we go. I don't buy this Dimensional Magic anymore. This is old. I don't even know if you can buy that anymore. I really haven't bought much glossy accent lately either. So let's start with a bobby pin. And since this is going to be the hard one to put on, let's start with it. And I'm just going to glue it on at the base here and up in here. Now it's got a, I don't know if I can click that off any. Flatten it out a little. And let's put my bobby pin on it. Flat side down, kick side up. And I'm just going to let that dry. I don't know if I have it straight enough. Wants to turn on me. And even if I glue the bobby pin closed, I'm okay with that because I'll just wrap the ribbon around it. Come on, Mary. Okay. Maybe now, if I move my fat fingers, I'm just going to set that aside and let it dry. And we'll come back and do the others in a minute or two. Oh, and of course it falls over. It tipped over because my... Set it aside and let it dry, and it tipped right over. I was doing so good. Probably I bumped the table. And the kick side is down. It's not going to make a difference anymore. I'm just going to leave it like that. Put some glue on it again, and we'll see what happens. Hold that up for me, Mr. Bunny. Now, one thing I want to do, I have a bunch of mailing that I need to get done. Let me get this off. And put my scissors away. Hold a second. Let me make sure my scissors have any glue off of them. Clean off my desk a little. 3 bobby pins here. What happened to the other one? All right. My finger's a little gluey. So, on my membership that I have 2 rooms. One is the Fibdiggity Friends, which is like 99 cents a month. It's the lowest price I could do. And then the other one is Fibdiggity Creators. Now I need to do some work, some things for the Fibdiggity's Friends group, but I'll do that offline. But in the Fibdiggity Creators group, we get together. There's about, well, it varies who comes into the streams depending on their personal life. You know, I don't demand that they come to my live streams. But there's probably about 15 of them that I'm mailing stuff to as a thank you. And then if they come to the stream, I do a thank you gift for them coming to the stream. And let me get my box out here. And we're working through a project book. We're building an altered journal. Let me grab. Oh, I never have what I want when I want it. But one of the things that I'm sending to them are stickers every month. And if they come to the streams, I'm sending them some I'm going to make some tags here. And I thought I put everything back in here. Here they are. I want to work on these tags this morning so I can get them sent off. And I have a full set of stickers in here someplace that I need to cut apart, and they're probably on the very bottom because that's where I put things, is on the bottom. Let me pull them out. And I'm only showing this because I want you to kind of see what we're doing in that group. And I need to get it done. I've been telling them I'm going to mail stuff to them, and here it is. So what I want to do is start with these. And I'm also doing it so you can see what we're doing in that group. Now, I think there were about 10 or 11 of us who were in the last live stream, and these are stickers. 1, 2, 3, and this is a little illustration by Harrison Ford. It's in the public domain. This is not a part of what we're doing. I mean, this is not a part. This is extra Harrison Ford. Harrison Fisher. But it goes with what we're doing. And I think I printed off enough. And then I have 2 more here that I need to cut. And I'm going to make some tabs, some tags. And these are thank you gifts. And I might have a couple extra here. These are thank you gifts for them attending the live stream, the last live stream they had, and I want to get them done and sent out. And I'm so busy with the garden work, and we had a very, very nice rain the other night. I was so thankful for it, Sunday night. And yeah, I need to mow the lawn. So we're going to, I've got 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12 stickers here. And I'm going to cut, I think I made them 3 by, I want to make them 3 by 5.5, I think. So I'm just going to take all of these off for a minute. And I'm going to mount them on paper. And I want to cut the paper. So this is my way of thanking them for attending the streams. We'll start with those. And I want to trim this. And I might send these separately from the other stickers that I don't know, because I don't know if I can get everything done at once. It's a mailing thing. All right. But I want to get it done. So I was thinking let's cut some 3 by 5.5 and see how they fit. So 3 by 5.5. And I think they're going to be fine. Now I need to trim this a bit more here. And I know I have asked the members not to share what we're doing but then I kind of had double thoughts about doing it. Do I want to make that maybe? That's 3. Yeah, I think I'll make it like that. And then I have a piece of tatting that I'm going to put down here. Now I have the corner punches, but I think I'm going to make me that's a sticker. I need a piece of paper to make me a pattern here for the corner. And this is something I can get done quick and get them mailed off. They are so patient with me. All right, let's just cut it like that, and then you turn it around and cut it like. And I could do more than one here. I'm just doing this one as a demo. Yeah, I think I'm gonna like that. So let's cut some more 3.5 by 5s here, and I'm going to keep my little corner piece out. So I think I wanted 12. So I've got 2. And I don't think I'll quite have a 3-inch piece left here. I think this is smaller, so I'll save it for, yeah, because this is 8.5 by 11 paper. I'll save that for something, maybe next week's. All right, and we want to cut this by 5.5, I think I said. And I think that will do it. So there is 4. And I want to thank the people who have joined in either room. I have another project that I want to do for the friends group, which is the 99-cent group. I have been so busy, I haven't been doing much in that room. But I want them to have something too. Not a sticker or anything, but a project I'm thinking of. All right. So this should be 8. I should only need three papers. And we'll save these for something else. And I just thought I would share with you what were some things that we're doing in there. You get kind of a glimpse. I'm not showing the entire project. You get kind of a glimpse of what's going on. I'm just getting a start with this. It isn't like I've done the membership for years, but YouTube convinced me to start a membership area, and I'm doing it more. Well, and in January, I felt like my channel needed an extra layer, and YouTube convinced me that the extra layer should be a membership area. I wish they'd give me the community area, the community board. I would love to see that happen. But I have a feeling that it's going to be a while. Let's see if I can cut 3 of these at once. 3 might be a little much, but we'll see. I'm using Tim Holtz scissors. I got a shaky left hand, especially when I try to hold things tight. If I just relax that hand a little. I got some red paint on my fingernails. I want to mention something. Some of you know Deb Ibeck, E-I-L-B-E-C-K, Ibeck. Keep her in your thoughts and prayers. She's going through a bit of a rough time right now with her living situation. And let me tell you guys, I've been there. I know what it's like. I know what it's like to not know where your next penny is coming from. And I want to make sure I don't have that. And to be faced with homelessness. Because I went through it. I went through it up in Madison. I had 83 cents to my name. I didn't know where my next meal was going to come from. I didn't know where my next tank of gas, I didn't know how I was going to pay my next month's rent. It's scary. It is terrifying. And I'm not going to discuss her situation, but I can discuss mine. And keep her in your thoughts and prayers, because she is going through a rough time. And she needs our good thoughts. And I was fortunate in that I had a church family who helped me out. And I was able to come back to Nebraska because of that. I cut one here. I want to make sure I'm not recutting it. 1, 2, 3. I don't know what I did with the one I cut. Let's make sure these are right. It's hard to see. Let me grab a paper and I'm very fortunate too in that I have my older brother who's had room for me. I want to make sure that these are looking right here. I do things for him. I feel like I earn my keep, so to speak. I have to remind him of it, like taking care of the yard, and I just want to make sure that I haven't messed up the tabs here. I don't know what I did with the one I already cut, the sample one. I want to make sure that I'm not recutting it. Well, I guess I'll find out. I might have put it up above. Did I put it up above? I don't see it. I guess I'll find it when I find it. And it's hard. It's hard to ask for help. It's hard to explain the situation in. You feel like people may be criticizing you or looking down on you, all of that. My heart goes out. All right. And that's all I'm going to say, because she doesn't know I'm saying this. She's been in here a couple times. I think she goes to DD Stream a few times. So she's a part of our art community. Boy, I'm going to have to turn that fan toward me. All right. I've got 1, 2. Maybe this was it. 3. I'm putting them here to make sure that they look good. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think I'm okay. All right, so all I want to do, these are stickers, and if you use sticker paper that you do not have a tab for or space to pull, you know how some stickers have little side, little trim marks and the little cut marks that you can get a hold of. Well, these are full sheet stickers. Take your needle and just get kind of in between the release paper and the photo, and you need a sharper needle. I've had that one in the glue, or the pen. The needle or a pen. And stick it in there. And make sure that you don't go through the paper. If you do, it's only a little pinhole, but try to not go through the photo. And get in between them. And kind of, now I think I'll probably make a hole in that. There we go. See, I did not go through the picture there, but I'm through the release paper. And you just kind of do it on one corner, and then you bend that release paper back. See what I did? I stuck it in there, and then you bend it back like that. And that gives you a pull tab. Now, before I put that down, I kind of want to center it. It may not be perfect. I'm going to move this so I can see better where I'm going here. And it may not be perfect, but I'm trying to leave two spaces on each side. A 1/2 inch on each side. There we go. And then I'll put a piece of tatting. I'll show that later if I can find it. So this will be thank yous to the gals who came to my live stream last week. I want to get them out. Next week I may use those 2-inch papers and maybe make a little, one thing I've been doing here, let me get this through. One thing I've been doing, let me grab it. I've been doing little stickers like this of the illustrations that we're using. And I'll show those again later. But I may do a small illustration. I told them that when they come to my stream, I like to have a little thank you gift. And I think what I'll do, I can't do something like this every 2 weeks, I mean, every other week, two times a month. But I can do one project like this, and then a smaller project. And I think what I'll do is make some little head stickers for the next time that they come to the stream. Allie K takes a little, makes a little list of who comes, and I can't see, I can keep track, but she's better at it because I'm focused on what I'm doing on my desk, and she sends me a list of who attends, and if I send something like this, the first, I stream twice a month in the Fibdiggity creators group, which is the second room, the second tier. And then on the second week that I stream, if I just do the little head portrait and make a small one and cut those cutoff sheets that I had from cutting these, that might be the second week. So just talking about what we're working on. I hope to have this project that we're working on now in the Fibdiggity Creators Group, which is the second room. I hope to have that all done by the holidays so that we can have our holidays free, and we might do a holiday project, but it won't be a big thing. And then next year we can start with something else. I'm leaving room for a border down below. So let me work through this. Let me stop and look at chat for a minute. Chat filter. Let me refresh my chat filter here. Let's see. Arlene is here. Dee Dee is here. Hi, Tina. Good morning, Miss Tina. Dee Dee's working on her own Happy Mail. Yeah, I'm trying to get mail out, Dee Dee. I don't know. I'm going to town this afternoon. I'd like to, I don't know if I can mail all of these at once, but I could mail the tags. Let's see. Tina's here. Good morning, Tina. And Arlene and Sylvia. Good morning, Miss Sylvia. Since Mrs. Dee Dee is here, may I take the time to tell you how awesome my society book is. She's talking about the Society of Idea Collectors. I need to work on mine. And how I reference it often. Thank you for starting it in 2025. So there you go, Dee Dee. You have a new follower for the Society of Idea Collectors. And she is giving you praises. Hi, Lori. Yeah, not Ford. I always say Harrison Ford. Harrison Fisher is a illustrator in the same style as the guy who did the Gibson Girls. And he did all these pretty ladies in the early 1900s. Where's my pen? And we're kind of working with him. I want to do a mind map of him. So we're kind of dwelling on that project. I had attended last year, before she had her surgery, I attended an auction, Rebecca Will's auction, and I found I won a book, a Harrison Fisher book, and it is cool. I don't want to talk too much about it, but it's a cool book, and we're kind of working on that concept in our Fibdiggity Creators. But what you're seeing here is not a part of that book. This is his illustration, but it's not in that book. So, and I just decided I need to get these done. And good morning, Miss Lori. How are you feeling? Lori Pink Girly, I see you out there. How are you feeling? She has been fighting a bad cold. She's been fighting, not feeling very well. I'm going about a 1/2 inch down and a 1/2 inch in. And I'm trying to make it as straight as possible here. And I have envelopes that I need to send from a giveaway. I need to get those off. And I want to send Karen Kay that little mini seed catalog. So I am a busy lady. But you know what? That's staying active is good for you. Keep yourself active, whether you're reading or working in the yard or even just working around the house. Stay active. You'll feel better about yourself. I know I kind of feel like my brother should do a lot more, but you can't nag them. You can't nag them. I did nag him the other day. I cussed him out that he left his dirty dishes for me to do. And I said, well, at least you can do it, because I had just come home from shopping and I was tired and worn out. I said, the least that you could do is soak it, take it off. He left it on the stove. I said, the skillet, he had goulash. He made his own goulash. Usually he asks me to make it. But he said he was going to try it himself, which I was proud of him to do. And he left the skillet on the stove, and I said, at least clean it out a little, the leftovers that he had, the scrapings, and soak it. I said, I'll wash it, but you soak it. I was grumpy, I was tired. And I told him I was tired. We're getting there. We only got 4 left to do here. So this is just me saying thank you to my Fib Diggity creators for coming to the live stream. And it doesn't matter if you don't have to stay the whole stream if you're a Fib Diggity creator. If you just show up and say hello, stick around for a few minutes, you know, I understand people have lives. I understand that because I have a life. And sometimes it's hard to devote a full evening. You might want to, but you know, you have a family, you have household responsibilities, you have other projects that you're doing. You know, it's just a whole host of things that you can't spend 4 hours all the time in watching a video. As much as I'd love to have you, sometimes you're just tired from the day's activities. Sometimes you're just worn out and you all just want to sit there and stare at the ceiling, relax. I understand that too. And we had such a beautiful rain the other night. We had such a beautiful rain. And I know, as much as I like the rain, I know that the yard needs mowed. And I mowed half of the yard last week sometime, and I left the backyard because it was so dry. It was so dry out that even the weeds weren't growing in the backyard. And I told my brother, I said, I'm going to leave the backyard. He was okay with that. We were running out of gas anyway. I always tell him to go get more gas for the lawnmower. And he says, oh, you got enough to do 2 more times. I'm going, yeah, right. Well, I used it all. And yesterday I asked him, he had to go get milk and everything. And the same store that sells the milk has an outside gas pump. And I said, did you buy gas for the lawnmower? Yes. So he buys the gas and I mow the lawn. I think I'm going to charge him $40 for doing it. That's what I was paying that young guy to come mow. This really needs to be trimmed a little. I wonder if I can trim this. I was paying that young boy $40 to mow our lawn, which is a little high, but I wanted to encourage him. But this year I told him, I want to do it myself this year. I said, I miss doing it. And he hasn't been around. He hasn't been begging me. So I think he's in high school now, I think. Or going toward high school. He might be in 8th grade this year. I'm not sure where he is academically. But he didn't give me much of a fight. And our backyard is covered with dandelions. And I want to have it tilled or till it and plant grass. And what did I do with that pen? I don't know, I dropped the pen. It rolled off someplace. Well, we'll get another one. It'll show up. Sometimes I leave it in the paper, but I didn't do that. I might have rolled off over here. If I leave it in the paper, I know where it's at. Some of them, this one isn't on there. I wonder if I can pull that off. I didn't smash it down. It's a little better. They're not going to be perfect, but they're just a quick thank you. And I need to order more sticker paper. I like to do my stickers that I send them on glossy paper. I do have the matte, but I like to do the glossy stuff. And now that I have a printer, and it's actually printing pretty good for me now. I had issues with that Epson printer. And I put the magenta ink or the red ink where the yellow should be. And I go, why did I do that? Well, I looked at the printer and it had a label on the front. And the label goes blue, red, yellow, not blue. Black, red, is it black? Black, the label on the front of the printer goes black, yellow. The label on the front of the printer goes black, red, yellow, blue. But inside, the tanks go black, yellow, red, blue, or magenta, whatever they call that color. And I'm sure that I probably looked at the outside of the, and so I really blame them for not putting a consistent label with how the tanks are arranged. And that I probably looked at the black, red, yellow one instead of the black, yellow, red one, if that makes any sense. And I called her. And the only way to clean out those tanks is to take the whole cotton picking thing apart. And I didn't want to do that. Or take it to a technician that was 300 miles away. And I didn't want to do that. Or allow it to print 4,500 copies and run out of ink. But it seems to be behaving. You're not supposed to, if you goofed, if you goofed in putting your ink in the wrong tank, you're not supposed to just add the right ink into whatever you put in. But I let it run down. I let it run down, not clear down, but down a lot. And then I put the right ink in the right tank. And I think it's printing okay now. It may not be true, but I think I get these a little bit over to the, but I'm not going to worry about it. All right, let's throw these little things away. Or I could try to keep them because I'm always looking for release paper, but release papers are not all the same. This is trash. All right, now what I want to do, I'm going to look in this box here, wherever I put it, and see if I can find the tatting. I think I put it back in the box, but I'm not sure. I tatted a little piece to put on the bottom. Oh, there they are. Yes, I did put them in the box. I'm not sure I have 12 of them. And instead of hiding those ends, I'm going to glue it on my tag, but I'm going to glue the end rather than hide it. And I'll show you what I mean. Let me untie this. Or I could just cut it because I'm going to cut everything. You shake. Wouldn't that make a beautiful tassel? That's what I'm working on. That's what I'm working on in my tatting project, is making a tassel something like this. Only it's not going to be exactly like this. And the online tatting class, that's their channel name, the online tatting class, is going to start a shuttle tatting class for beginner shuttle, for the beginner in shuttle tatting. Now, I've been doing needle tatting. I'm going to throw this away. Well, that's quite a bit of thread. That would make a nice, I'm not going to throw that one away. So this, I'm going to trim it off here. I don't know if my little scissors are sharp enough anymore to trim this off. But this is going to go, and I'm going to glue them on. I'm not going to try to stitch these on, but I'm going to put a little piece of glue on that. So I'm just going to kind of cut it there. And it will go across here. I can't see what I'm doing. Let me. I still have my sunglasses in here from the other night. I'll turn this upside down. Use this. So I can see where I'm going. See, I think I got that on crooked, and I don't know if I can take them off after I put it down. I'm not happy with the spacing. This would be an extra one anyway. I think I can adjust this. I'll turn it over. It's hard to get this situated. I tried my best, but yeah. It's going just a little crooked here. I might have to do this with a couple of them, but I think they'll be okay. And then this is the side I snipped. So I'm going to turn it this way. And I'm going to glue it down this way. Now I think I'll glue it completely on there. And I'm going to use the Fine Art glitter glue. Let me put this where I know where it's at. I'm going to put it up by my scissor holder, my doorknob. And I'm just going to, I want to glue that little end down that I cut. It's right in here. And I'm just going to put little dabs of glue on here. And I gave up using that fine point on this Fine Art glitter glue. And then I'm just going to put it on. And it might be a little curvy, but that's okay. It'll fit. And the glue will dry clear, so if I have a little smudge of glue, it dries clear. Now I got a little smudge. I can't get it off. And so I need to poke a holes in them. And maybe right on the back, thank you for coming to my Dib Diggity Creators live stream. This one's okay, I think. And let's just grab one and put it over this way, I think. And snip it here. Now, I usually sew these ends in, but since I'm gluing the tag down anyway, I'm going to glue the ends down. On my tatting projects, I sew the ends in because that's the proper thing to do. Put a little glue on there. It took me a while to make these, but this is a simple ring and chain. This is not a complicated thing to do, but it took me a while to accomplish it. I got it upside down. And let's see, let me get that needle out. Now, if you're a perfectionist, you will go in and pull all your little tats so that they, all your little Picassos so that they show. I don't know if I'm going to do that on all of these. Uh-oh. Did I have glue on the paper? Oh, I had that sticker on there. I might get me out another sheet of paper. I know, let's use this. What did I do with it? The wipe off one. The glue book one. Let's use the glue book one. so I can turn the pages, which I've been gluing. So this is something I can get done for the, and I think I'll try to get these mailed today. I don't know. I'm going to try. And then I'll send the others separate, because I won't have time to do everything. And go buy my dirt. I have to go to the grocery store. I'm out of groceries. I used my last onion to make some French onion soup yesterday. I had French onion soup for lunch. And I snacked on popcorn. I have to go to the grocery store. I cleaned out the freezer yesterday. My brother had food in there for years. And it's hard for him to let go of that stuff. He had some fish fry. He doesn't fry fish anymore. Let me straighten this guy out. And I had some food that needed to be thrown away. Even though it was frozen, I wasn't eating it, and it just was sitting there, and I tossed it. I need to clean out the refrigerator freezer of my stuff. I have some things in there that need to be tossed, and the door. So I'm going to try to do that today, because the garbage man comes tomorrow. I want to get it cleaned out. We didn't have a whole lot in there, but we had some things that needed to be thrown out. Well, I threw a sack of that stuff away. Some things that, you know, well, honest to tell you, in the freezer, I think it was left from his significant other, because he didn't know what it was. You know, and it just sat in there and got in the freezer. It just got pushed to the back, and I cleaned it all out yesterday. And he was outside. He came in, and while I was cleaning it, well, I said, "Do you still want this stuff?" He had to supervise. I didn't get away with just throwing it out without his approval. He's a good guy, though. Let me snip this if I can. Where's my pen? Put a dot of glue on that. Now I think I'll flip the page, turn it over. Yeah, I think I made enough of these. I think I'll make this one a little longer so I can actually see where they're going. Snip it off here. Now I'm gluing it on the back. And since I'm adding these to tags, I don't mind gluing them down. But if I was using them for a different project like a doily or something, they need to be, the ends need to be stitched in. And I usually stitch in my ends. I'm pretty good about that on my projects. But I tell you, I've learned a lot. I know I've sent some of you tatting, and I cringe to think that some of you got some of my beginner pieces. I think Becky got a beginner piece. I think Karen K might have gotten a beginner piece. I've improved over the years. I have to laugh about that statement because I go bowling when I went bowling with one of my friends up in Madison, and we bowled in a team in a league, a little girls league, and I wasn't very good. I'm not a very good bowler. At the end of the season, when they gave out the trophies and the prizes, I got the prize for being the most improved, because I was bad at first, and I improved. But I was still pretty bad. I'm not a good bowler. I did eventually buy my own bowling ball though, but I have these little fingers, and I don't know. I'm just not a good bowler. And my friend, of course, was one of the top bowlers. We're both retired now. I just saw a picture of her on Facebook with her grandson. Her husband passed away. He had prostate cancer. She went through a pretty rough time taking care of him. But she was sticking by him in his final years. I admire that. She was a good gal. She's smart, really good at math. Mary's more of a logic person than a math person, as Becky well knows, and Allie K. They're always correcting my math. So I think I'll make this the back. Thank you guys for putting up with me just kind of talking at you this morning while I'm doing this. I do want to get these done so I can mail them today. And I want to mail Karen K's project today. I've set it aside over to the side, and I think I shuffled it around. I have to find it. Karen K's book. I showed it at the beginning. And I suppose I'll have to put a paper around these. Whoops, got a string on there. And that one's not tucked under. Hold on. Get under. Get under there. There you go. Yeah, let's straighten this guy out a little. Glue on my finger. when you straighten these little picots out, it's called pulling the picots. The picots are the little loopy things. How many do I have to go? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got 5 more to do here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I got exactly 12 here. I think I might have a couple extra. I'll have one for me. I'll put one in my altered book, one in my writing journal. I'll use them. I'm not going to give them away to people outside of the group because I don't think that would be fair to the group. But I kind of want you to see some of the things that are happening in the group. What do I have here? Is it twisted? I gotta get a hold of that string and push him down into the glue. Well, I'm not having a very good luck with this one. Yeah, hold on. He should be on the other side. I'm going to clip him off and glue him down. And this needs to come over a bit more. There we go. Four more to go. If I do the countdown, it goes faster for me. 4, 3, 2, 1. I think this is the hardest part of it, the lacy thing, because I made all the lace. Have to make all the lace and then have to glue it down. That's the hardest part of the project. And I'm just putting little dots of glue on here. I'm not streaming my glue on. I'm just putting little dots. And this fine art glitter glue holds it just fine. I did a postcard and I sent it to Katia in Canada. And she said it arrived just fine. Of course, she may have gotten lucky. Yeah, I glued that down and it still stuck out. Come on, get in there. Now I'm going to have to use my pen. Get in there. And you too, get in there. Got a little glue in there. to pull at it too much. Where's that napkin? There. Three to go. 1, 2, 3. If I do the countdown, it seems to go faster for me. I feel like carving a stamp this morning, but I've got so much other stuff to do that it's what I want to do, but I'm not going to because I've got so much to do. I want to go down all these little rabbit holes. I want to go down all the little rabbit trails. And it gets me off the beaten path. Dee Dee said she's working on Happy Mail this morning. She is so good about sending out her Happy Mail, Meri, well, truthfully, my attitude is it's Happy Mail. If I were selling stuff, I would probably be better at it. But Happy Mail is mail that's, it's not a required thing. Here, I got a piece on there, that knit paper on there. Let me straighten this out. Happy Mail is something you do, but when you say you're going to send it, you should send it. And I really have gotten bad about my Happy Mail, but I'm trying. My postcards, I do pretty good with sending the postcards out. Now I've got those painted letters that I need to do, those painted envelopes. 2 more. 2 more and then we'll be done. Well, I've got to poke holes in them and write on the back. Let's get all these threads pushed out of the way. They're getting in my way. Clean my glue off. And I'm trying to glue those little ends down, but they don't want to stay. Come on, get in there. Get off my finger now. And I think I have this one twisted. So even if you come, if you're a Fib Diggity creator, and if you're doing this project with us, or even if you come, you don't have to be doing the project per se, but if you come to the live stream, and if you can't stay the whole night, that's okay. Allie K will write your name down, and you'll get a little thank you for spending a few moments with us. Yeah, I got that out, didn't I? Where did I do my... stretch this a little. This is kind of a stretchable lace in a way after you do this. Let me clean that up a little. And it's not quite over to the side like I like it. Let's see if I can't pull it over a little more. I'm readjusting it here. There. That's good. Clean up the glue dries transparent, so I'm not too worried about when I see little white dots of glue, because it'll dry. Let's pull these Picassos. I'm hoping Tammy, who teaches the shuttle tatting, is going to have a beginner class. I'm hoping I can conquer my there's a flip on the shuttle that you, and I'm really having an issue flipping that stitch to make it close the ring good. And I understand all the concepts, but I'm doing something wrong. And I'm hoping by attending that beginner class that she's having, you have to sign up for it, go to the online tatting class, and send them a mail if you're interested in learning a beginning tatting. And she's got some tatters that she says are blind. I can't imagine tatting blind with your if you're blind, or even near blind. I'm near blind. But I'm not near blind medically, I'm just talking. But she's doing an online tatting class for beginners only. I'm hoping, I understand the concepts, but I can't make my fingers flip that stitch. I know what I need to do, it's just not doing it. My hand is not, and sometimes I get it. Sometimes I flip it and I'm able to pull the ring, but most of the time, nope, I knot it up, and I'm doing something wrong. So I'm hoping by going to that class I can conquer that, because I'm really learning a lot with the needle tatting. But I'd like to also learn how to shuttle tat. All right, hold on. It goes this way, Mary. This is the last one. No, I have one more. Sorry. No, it's the last one. I did that other one. Oh, he peeked out. Well, we'll fix him. Hold on. Where's my needle? You would have to peek out, wouldn't you? Where's the Picasso? I think the Picasso is over here. I'm not going to worry about it. My finger sticks to it. All right, I think I'm done with these as far as putting the lace on. Let me come out and look at chat. Let me clean my fingers first, though. I got fine art glitter glue on my fingers. And let's put the cap. I put it up here by my, let's put the little fine needle thing on the cap. Put that back over here where I keep it. Clean my fingers. Get that glue on my fingers. Alrighty, let's see what's going on in chat. Let me refresh chat. Chat filter, top messages, chat filter, all messages. Hi, Kitty Jen. Good morning, lady. Hi, Brenda. She says, I do the same thing when working on multiples. I do all of step 1, then step 2, and then step 3. It feels like it speeds things up. Yeah. This is not a complicated process. The hardest thing was the tatting. And I was telling them in the chat that I probably will not do as much work on the second week's project, And I'm thinking on the second week, I'm just going to do little miniature heads and put them on a twinchy. Let's see. Cynthia? Hi, Belinda Smith. Brenda A. Good morning, Brenda. And Belinda and Brenda. And Kitty Jen. Thank you, Kitty Jen. Let's see. Dee Dee says, oh, Happy Mail is done. I'm off on errands. Dee Dee's a busy lady. She says, I'll chat later. See you later. All right. Now I need to punch. Oh. No. What did you do? I need to punch holes, which means I need to get over here to my toolbox to get my punch. Let me stand up. Yeah, I think my envelopes are dry. I just didn't want to waste paint. Let's see if I can get into my toolbox here. What's this? I think this is Christmas. I'm not sure what that is. I have to dig down to my toolbox. Hold on. I want my punch. What's this? Kitties. You guys, oh, I have spools. I'm going to put those down below. I need my punch. Oh, I have my refill box on top of everything. You guys, I'm digging down. I'm digging down. I don't know what I have here. Are those boxes? We'll have to go through some of this stuff later. I'm looking for my punch. I piled my... Lordy. Hold on. I'm stepping on my cord. I got my chair on the cord. I'll probably pull the... You should not pile stuff on your toolbox. That's my no-no, Mary. What do you think you're doing? I'm piling stuff on my chair. I have to get this refill box off of my toolbox to reach into my toolbox. I have my Refill Friday stuff here. And I got entire boxes on top of my toolbox. I'm not sure I can get it out. What else do I have here? I have a tin of Christmas stuff. I have a package of sandpaper. Oh, I found my punch. Yay. Well, it wasn't that bad of a... But I didn't find the... I don't know what I did with... Well, I'm not going to worry about it. I thought I set it in a safe place. But I'm not sure what I did. My safe place. All right, let's just move on, Mary. Let's punch some holes. And I think I'm going to turn this over and get the fine art and glitter glue off my hand. And of course I put all my pens in my other box. I want a pen to, or even a chalk pen, something to mark that. Well, even I could take my, let's take my awl. I put my awl away pretty good because I don't want to lose it. And I'm just going to, I guess I should do it on the front. I'm going to mark 1.5, so I'm going to kind of just poke a little hole there. And then I'll come and punch. So let's do that. 1, 2.5, about a 1/2 inch down. 2. Three. 4. 'Get a hold of it. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. 12. All right, let me put this all away before I lose that. And I'm going to take this, put it back down so I can actually see where I poked the hole. And then I'm going to take my punch. I think I'll punch it with the small one, the small side. Oh, it's going to be kind of hard to see. One. Now I could get all fancy with it. Boy, that's really hard for me to see. The lighting is covering it up after I get it in there. I really need a white markers. Just even a light colored one. And this is, I don't think it's going to work because it's all dried up. I didn't have a cap on it. Maybe that. Just enough for me to see the... No, that's not going to show up. It's yellow on black. Let's grab one of these. These don't last me very long. They tend to, by the time I reuse them, they tend to dry out on me. I open up one and I use it for a bit, and then I cap it and put it back, but most of the time I don't get them flowing again. I don't really care for white ink pens. The Signal pens are probably the best, but oh, come on. Let's do that. Let's mark them all. One. That one's punched. 1. I hardly have a hard time seeing it on here. 2. 3. 4. I'm not good at batch work, but I do want to say thank you to the people that come to the streams. 6. 'll have to use this pin on the back anyway. Now, if I had a lot of time, I would make some string of rings to put as hangers, but I want to get these sent off today. Did I punch a hole there? I did. It's just hard to see it. So I'm going to write on the back, thank you for coming to our Fibdiggity Creators stream. And that was on May, let me check. I think it was May 12th that we had our first stream. What time is it? It's 8:06. I'm only going until 9. I think Kathy Berg comes on. I'm not going to get everything I want done this morning. Let me look at the calendar. Where's my calendar? Where's my calendar? What did I do with it? I rearranged my icons. Now I can't find anything. That's Verizon. That's my printer. That's Amazon. Is my calendar in there? Hobby Lobby, printer. What did I do? Did I delete my calendar? Should be in this group. There it is. Yeah, it was May 12th. And then I'll have another Fibdiggity Creator stream on the 26th. Just for you, if you're a part of that group. And let's, on May 12th, 2025. All right, let's just go ahead and, while my pen is still fresh, write on these. See how that ink kind of, but you're probably seeing it better than I am. To me, that ink kind of soaks into my paper. It's not as bright. Yep, I'm going to write on all of these. And this is my handwriting. I'll write all the so you can see the work kind of involved in this. but I think it's worth it. Thank you for coming to the... I'm getting to know the gals in that group. We interview one gal a month and just some basic interview questions. And we kind of have little side rabbit trails on the interview questions. And it's kind of fun to get to know people's likes and dislikes and that. Although that's not one of the questions. I gotta keep track of what I'm doing here, or I'll lose my focus. I'm thinking, my mind is going 25 miles an hour, 100 miles an hour. I'm not going 100 miles an hour. Writing the same thing over and over and over. 12 times. It's just like writing on the blackboard. What did you do wrong, Mary? Did you guys ever have to write, I will not throw scumballs in class? Spitballs. I will not call the teacher dirty names. I never did all that, but I don't think the only thing I ever wrote on the board is we had to go up and do long division. On the blackboard in 8th grade. I can remember doing long division problems on the blackboard. Oh, those were the days. Those were the days. Now they do them on their laptops. I had a laugh at my niece's wife, my grandniece. Not my niece's wife, my nephew's wife. Excuse me. It's my nephew's wife and my grandniece got her school permit. And she drove to school by herself. Her mother put up a picture on Facebook, says, do any of the other mothers follow their child to school for the first 3 days? I don't think my mother, that to my knowledge, because I drove to school, but well, I'm probably about the same distance. We lived about 3.5 miles out of town, and I drove to school when I was a senior, though I wasn't a freshman. And Yeah, I don't think my mother ever followed me. But I can remember her teaching us how to drive, both my younger brother and myself. And I would drive, I had a 1957 slantback Chevy. I worked at a local nursing home part-time when I was in high school. I bought this car for $75. Of course, then that was a lot of money, but and I drove to work and I drove to school, but I didn't drive on long trips. My dad took that car down to his mother's funeral. He borrowed my car to go to his mother's funeral, and it died on him on the way home. He left it someplace between here and Oklahoma. I never saw my beloved little car again. He never bought me another one either. Of course, I guess it was better for it to go out on him than me, but anyway, that was what he told me. Now I'm wondering, did it really go out? I think it probably did. He's been in my thoughts lately. Oh, to my, I should say R, but I'm not going to scribble that out. I'm talking and trying to write at the same time. And I want to date this so they'll have some reference point. That's why I'm putting May 12th. That was the last stream that we had. I might keep this one for myself because it should be to the Bib Diggity Creator stream. I'm concentrating. Just got a couple left here. Because I'm getting tired of writing. I'm not good at batch work. I want to move on. And three left here. Bib Diggity. Friends in the box. Diggity is a modifier word that emphasizes or modifies, enhances the whatever word that's associated with it. And FIB stands for Friends in the Box. So I'm got some really cool friends in the box. That's what Fibdiggity means. And creators is the second room, the second tier in my membership that I'm calling the Fibdiggity Community Center. And I named it that before I realized that YouTube was doing community tabs. Now I'm wondering if they're going to give me a community tab. I wish they'd give me one. I don't think you can request it. I don't think you can request it. You have to wait until they decide to. They roll these things out to certain people. You know, they don't just push it out to everybody. They roll it out, and then they'll roll it out to some more, and eventually they'll get to everybody, but eventually is indeterminate. We don't know when that will come. About the time they rolled that out, I got access to the Dream Screen. Dream Screen's been active on YouTube for a while, but they upgraded it so that you could do video clips. And I've done a couple. I just haven't had time. I've got all these ideas that I want to do that I haven't had time to sit down and do them. One more. I have more ideas than time. Ideas are never a problem for me. And Sylvia thanked Dee Dee this morning for, thank you, for doing the Society of Idea Collector. I gotta slow down here. She said she's really enjoying it. And I got to get busy and work in mine. Okay. I think I got a couple extra. These last two I made. So now I need to go back to the front here and poke holes where I can see where the white is. Kind of. Maybe if I put my thumb about 1/4 of an inch away. Got a little white mark on there, but I'd rather have a white mark than be off center. I might go back and put white marks around them. Not worry about it. The string will be white. That one's way off. That one will stay with me. My problem is I don't have good lighting in here. And it's very hard to see things. and the colors, like when I'm painting with those pens, it's hard for me to see the black and the purple. And sometimes distinguish between the pink and the yellow. They look the same to me until I get it done, and then I'm going, you gave that rabbit a yellow body. That one's already punched. Two more. All right, let's take this one that I kind of goofed on. And I don't think I can get rid of that ink. I might be able to take my paint pen and hold the phone. My black pen, or even my black pen plus gear. There. So I'm thinking if I take my white pen and just kind of draw a circle around these. It'll look like I meant to do this. It'll look like, oh, that's part of the tag. And I could doodle on these, but I don't want to spend a lot of time. I want to get these off in the mail. What time is it? 8:30. I have enough time to put the tags on. I'm just going to put crochet thread through them, white crochet thread. Well, it's sort of white. It's a cream color. It's this color. Is that what I tatted with? No, that isn't what I tatted with. I tatted with the great big spool of thread that I got from Lindy Kay, and it's white, and it's as big a spool of crochet thread that I've ever seen. I'm gonna put this one in my drawer. Hopefully it'll stay safe in there. And I feel like going out in the room and getting that crochet thread that'll match this. Let me get up and go over there and get it. Hold on. It's just a few steps away, but I have to jump over my box here. I'm getting it all of the bottom. I want to use the same thread. Let me pick up this paper on the floor, the snowflake paper that I got at the thrift store, and a package of an envelope of Jacqueline's dyed papers over there. Hold on. Stepping over the box. Look at that. Isn't that huge? It's a huge old box of skein of thread. It probably doesn't look huge to you, but it's probably 4 times as big as what I'm used to. All right, let's see how much I need for let's throw these away. I was going to save them, but they're in my way. And what do I have here? Let's see how much I need to make a hanger. I'm just going to put a little hanger on it. So maybe double that for, and then I'll clip off what? So I need 12 of these. So 1, did I clip it? I thought I clipped it off. Did I miss it? Jeez, Mary. Let me do that again. I'm trying to hurry, and that's my issue. Just slow down. You're going too fast. You've got to make the morning last. All right. That will be more than enough. I'll clip it off as I'm going. 1. Now I need 12 of these. And let's move this now because I can't see. I think I'm going to make them a little shorter. 2. 3. And I'll make them even shorter once I get them on, but I think I'm wanting to tie a bow. I'm not sure. 4. 5. 'I know there are faster ways to do that, but to do this, but when I try to go fast, I mess up. What happened to my end? I lost count. I think this is 9, 10. I can always catch up if I missed it. And 11. And 1 more. And of course I have all right. Now I'm going to try this without threading the needle. I wonder if I can double it. I don't know if I have enough to double it. I might. They don't have to be terribly long. Let's see, do I want to tie a... No, I think I want to do it this way. I'd like to double it, but that would make 4 threads. Let's do it this way. Let's thread it through the loop. Just slow down, Meri. You'll do better if you go slow. Let's thread it through the loop that way and give it a tie. What time is it? 8:35. I still got plenty of time. And give it a tie up here. It's windy out today. I can see the shadow of the trees blowing. I can see the shadow of my curtains. The trees are blowing and it's creating jumping shadows on my curtain. I'm not planting flowers in the wind. The wind blew my daisy plant. Blew my daisy plant all the dickens the other day. Now you should probably tie this in a square knot, but I'm not going to worry about it. And whoever gets these, if it's too long, they can shorten it up or put another one in or let it hang. It's a way for me to say that might be a little long. It should probably be shorter, but we're going to leave that one. All right, now that I know what I'm doing, I need to continue on here. So I'm going to double it, bring it through the punch hole there, if I can. And bring it through the loop. Get out of my way. Bring it through the loop and tie it once down below. And tie it up above twice. I might make these shorter. Come on, get in there. Two. Yeah, that wind must be blowing 35 miles an hour at least. It's really blowing. I don't think it's going 50, but it's going at least 30, if not 35 miles an hour. I can tell by the motion of those trees. And that's a project I'm going to talk to my brother about. In here, he's got drapes. But whoever put these drapes up used a cheap hangers on them, and as you open and close them, the hangers break. They're just plastic things, and most of them have broken off. I mean, I've got I'm afraid to open and close these drapes. I want to take them down, and that's why I have to talk to my brother. And I got all those round clamp curtain rods, curtain hangers. And I want to sew them on the back and thread them through the rod up there so that I can just open and close the curtains just by pulling them back and forth. because I would love to have some natural light coming in here. I'm going to make that a little taller. And of course, I don't like to do that stuff because it's not my house. And these curtains match the ones that are in the living room. And I don't mind the curtains, but if he ever sells this house, or if the house gets sold, if something happens to him, I probably won't stay here by myself. I can't take care of the house, the entire house. Too much upkeep for an old lady. I can mow the lawn and do the dishes, but if a hailstorm comes or something happens, I can't deal with it. Financially, I could not deal with it. And if something happens to him, the house would probably get sold as part of the estate. I'd probably find an apartment close by or something. Not here, not in this town, but in close by. And so whatever gets done to this house really needs to be run by him. Except for he said I could do whatever I wanted in this room. I don't know if he meant taking the drapes down and putting different way to close them. I would love to have those blinds that they're like a Venetian blind, but they're wood. Well, I don't know if I want the wood ones because wood ones are hard to keep clean. But they automatically go up and down. You just kind of touch them and they go up and down. You control them with a little. I would love to have those. But it's not my house. And those are probably, I would think those are probably way expensive. But my friend who used to live here, my skin and bones friend, not a virtual friend, she moved, her husband died, and she moved up to where her daughter and, I mean, she's still close by. She's not in this town anymore. But she invited me over to her house, and she has those blinds in her house where she just touches them and they go up and down. I'm going, wow, I would love to have a set of those. I'd love to have them on all the windows. Probably cost several $1,000s to have them put in. And my brother won't do that. For curtains, just put up an old bed sheet. Let's see, I'm leaving that until he does some things to this house, though. He finally broke down and had central air put in for at least the downstairs. And he had to fix the sewer. That cost him a bundle, and he put in a new garage. Finally got him to take out that rug in the kitchen, carpeting in the kitchen. I haven't convinced him to take out the carpeting in the bathroom, though. I hate it. He doesn't like to do things unless it's absolutely necessary. But he does do some things, so I can't complain too much. It cost him some money. He put in that new garage, though. He had that old shed demolished that was out there. We had an old shed. It used to be a house, I think. But it really needed to be done. It was really an eyesore, and it was falling in. The roof was falling in, and the kitty cats would, the garage door didn't shut all the way, and in the winter time, the kitty cats that roamed the neighborhood would go in there and take shelter. They can't get in our garage now, so we keep the door shut and locked. Except for one day he was bringing groceries home, and he parked his car in the garage, and he carried the sacks in, but he left the garage door open because he had to go back out. And we had a neighbor who I think that orange cat probably passed away because I haven't seen it wandering around. I think they got a dog, got a little house dog, and I think the cat passed away. And but at that time, that cat, while my brother was carrying his sack of groceries in the house, crawled in the back of the car and laid down and probably went to sleep. Well, my brother came out and finished carrying in his groceries, and closed the back. He's got a van. Closed the back of the van, and get this off. That cat, who knows? I think it was probably in there a couple days because we left to I think we were going to go visit his family, and we got about a mile out of town, and we heard this meow, meow, meow. And at first we thought it was a cat had crawled up in the engine, and I got, oh no, we're killing a cat. But the cat was in the back seat, was in the back of the van. So we had to turn around and take that cat home. Boy, he was not a happy camper. And then we opened the door. We got back here and we opened the door, and I coaxed him out. Come on, you're home. Come on. And finally he got brave enough to come out. And with all that commotion and me yelling at the cat, the neighbor lady came out, and there he is. And I explained to her what happened, and she realized that could have happened. She said that cat likes to hide in places. But I think that's the cat that bit my arm. I was sitting out on the front porch, and he liked to come over and check things out. He thought he owned the house. And I was sitting there, I was drawing or writing in my journal, and he tried to jump up in my lap. And I tried to help him, and I think he thought I was going to hit him. But I moved my arm so that he could jump up in my lap, and boy, he took a snap at it. And he bit my arm. And we were not friends after that. He would still come over, but when he looked like he was going to jump up on my lap, I said, no, you get down. You bit me. You're not welcome up here. But that same cat, our screen door, well, this is an old country house, an old townhouse, and our screen door still has a broken screen door down at the bottom. It's broken. And I had the door open at that time when we didn't have central air at this time. And I would open the door to get fresh air and in the summer. And I was sitting there reading. And I was in my recliner with the footstool kind of up, and I saw this motion down below. And that cat, that cat crawled in that screen door, the little broken part of the screen door, and just walked in the house like he owned the place. And we have a little stone figure of a little fawn sitting over by the TV. He went over and said hello to it. And I said, well, hello, did you come to visit? Are you hungry? And he eventually went out, but it was so funny to see him, because we don't have animals in the house. We don't have animals at all. My brother My brother doesn't want pets. He's done, his significant other had pets, and he's done with it. I wouldn't mind having a cat or a dog. I think I could take care of it. But if something happened to him and I couldn't live here anymore, I'd have to find a place that allowed me to have a pet. Not that it can't be done, but I never had pets myself because I always lived in townhouses and apartments, and I moved around quite a bit because of my job, my contracting, and I just didn't want to uproot my cat every 3 years. It's not a good life for an animal. And in the city too, you know. Of course, in the city, if you're stable, if you're gonna, like Becky and Scott, they've lived in that house for years and years. Well, they've owned the house. They lived in his sister's house, I think, for a while. What? But anyway, my roaming life was no life for a cat or a dog or anything like that, so I never had pets. Now, when we were growing up, we had dogs, but they were never, and I think we had a cat at one time, but they were never really mine. They were my brother's. I never really had a pet of my own. I think I'm missing out, but oh well. Maybe in heaven I'll get a dog. Because once I get up there, I'm not leaving. The Lord's gonna have me for a long time, because once I get there, I'm not coming back. And I'm not going any other place. I'm not coming back. You guys can have it down here. I would be done with it. I'm not unhappy though. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, once you get to the good place. I hope he understands I want an art studio in my mansion. I hear a lot of sermons about what the mansion really means. You know, I'm getting preachy now, but you're in the spirit, so I'm not sure the mansion means a physical place. It's a spiritual home. Whatever that looks like, I don't know. I guess we'll find out someday. I often think of my friends who passed away, and more of my friends are passing away over the years. But some of my high school friends have passed away, art friends have passed away, and I often wonder where they are and what they're doing. Looks like I cut a couple extra here. This is my last one. If they're painting with colors that we've never seen before. I've been listening to too many NDE videos, near-death experience. I've been, you know, once you watch several of them, then YouTube keeps feeding them to you. And I've been trying to slow down on what, no, I got one more to do here. I've been trying to slow down on watching them, but I guess it's a real thing that people who are near death, and they either see their long-lost relatives or they get glimpses of the afterlife, and then for some reason or another they don't fully die. They call it near death. And of course, I always listen to the good ones if they have a bad experience. I don't really listen to the rest of it because I don't want to hear about it. No, I guess I got the right one. That other one was attached to the ball. I guess I counted right. This is the last one. But they say the colors are colors that we don't see down here on Earth. I imagine, do I have two here? Oh, it's just a thread. I imagine that our physical eyes, you know, color is just light. Color is light and how it hits and reflects off of the physical elements. And it amazes me that red is always red and blue is always blue. So it's how that light hits whatever object has the same, I'm going to say elements or makeup or whatever structure. And that's the way I understand it. And the way we see light and how our brain interprets light and how our eyes interpret light and send the messages to our brain. It's fascinating. I was reading a lot about it when I was going for my cataract surgery about, I can't tell you all of the, because I'm not a doctor and I haven't had all that training, but there are parts of your eyes that send messages to your brain. And not just about color, but of things that you're seeing. All right, now I'm going to go through and snip all of these. And then I think they'll be done. I think they'll be done. What time is it? Oh, look, I got 4 minutes. I got 4 minutes to snip these in, and while I'm snipping, I want to thank you guys for coming in. I've only got one bobby pin on my putz house, but I'll work on that. Today's Tuesday. I doubt that I come in tomorrow, but I'm going to put some more bobby pins on here. And it might be a little crooked, but that's okay because I'm going to weave this. I'm going to weave this ribbon through it, so how crooked it is doesn't really matter. So I want to get that done, and I want to put a chimney on it. But let me set it aside here so that I can continue snipping my threads. I want to thank you guys for those of you that are in there. And if I miss saying good morning to you, good morning and thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. And maybe I'll catch you the next time. Because I've been pretty busy. I want to get these done so I can mail them. That one's already snipped. I want to get these done so I can send them off. And I wish you a good week. This is Tuesday, so I think Kathy Berg is coming on next. And I don't know if Lisa Conway, I think she started streaming again, but I don't know her schedule. And Tanya, I don't know Tanya's schedule anymore either. Tanya and her husband have been traveling a lot. But she used to stream, she used to stream on Mondays, but I think she changed it to Tuesday and Thursday with Tanya, and then I lost track of them. Is that good enough? Yeah. And Tuesday night, I always know Beth Schuler comes on. Beth Schuler comes on at 6 o'clock. Hold on, let me look at my list fast here. Uh-oh, where's my list? Where's my list? I pulled that. I lost my list. Well, I'll have to find it. I can't. It's not here. It dropped. So that's who I know streaming. I can't find my list and I don't want to take up any more time. I want to thank you guys for coming in. I worked mostly on these this morning. Did something else. Oh, I just glued the bobby pin. I'm going to do the trellis on my putz house here. I might put a brace in here to keep these open because I cut that door hole and now it's kind of sinking in. So I might put a cardboard brace in here on each side. But the little door opens and closes. All right, everybody. Have a great Tuesday. For sure, I will see you Thursday morning at 6 a.m. And I'm going to work on getting these in envelopes. I'll probably have to put them between sheets of paper. Have a great day, everybody. Oh, I know what I did. I painted that envelope. Let me get it out. We worked on this earlier. Maybe I'll do it like this for my stream, for my thumbnail. Okay. Bye.